Hello, everyone. I'm back. It's been a while. Um, I have been plagued by technical problems. I tried some new streaming software a couple of people recommended, and everything I recorded either disappeared mysteriously or was just horrible audio or all kinds of things. Um, I've also straight up lost some footage as well, um, and I had a few like recording issues going on as well. So there's quite a bit that's been missed. For those interested, I've done a few things. Um, I did unlock a new deck, which was a black and white deck, which is called um, no, sorry, it's a black and red deck, which is called Chaos and Mayhem. Um, this deck is all about um, basically having creatures that you send and retrieve from the graveyard just over and over. Use tokens to get to sacrifice for benefits and that sort of thing. So creatures like this Ravenous Harpy, for example, you sacrifice another creature, you add a token. So you can use stuff like Active Trees and take their creatures and sacrifice it, so you can destroy literally anything you can target and get a +1/+1 counter after attacking with that thing. So it's pretty good. Sacrifice a creature, draw 3 cards, stuff like that. 6/6 flying trample for 4. If you sacrifice a creature, yeah, it's all about it. This Phoenix, you can sacrifice it, it becomes an egg, it comes back in your thing. Yeah, so there's a whole stack of stuff like that. Really, really fun deck. Um, Once you've sort of established a small presence on the field, it can be really hard for them to like sort of dig you out of it. You can get really entrenched because every time they try to destroy something, you just sacrifice it, get a benefit out of it for yourself, and then you just use various effects to bring it back from the graveyard. Um, yeah, super annoying. So, um, the other thing is, if we go home, I have fixed my dinosaur deck quite a bit because I've picked up a couple of boosters. You can see I have some gems up here. This is because I bought the starter pack. It just was there was absolutely no reason not to do it. So spent a couple of dollars. I think the game's worth it. Um, that got me some wild cards together, and I've also had a couple of boosters and a bit of coin off challenges. So I've been able to buy boosters I actually need. Um, This is mostly fixed now. I still want to do some work with it, and I might put a recording together later with me making tweaks to this deck if I figure out a couple of interesting combos. But, for example, I don't really want this Drover in here, but he is useful for the mana, the tap for 1 mana situation. I've removed some cards that I misunderstood. As you may have noticed, I used Urban Paradise does not add more mana to that land, just makes that land generate any color. I had a couple other weird things like that that are just gone because they were just generally terrible. And I've built this out a bit. I've got this Colossal Majesty in here. This is pretty awesome because a creature with power 4 or greater draw a card. It's pretty much all the time by the time I'll be playing this. I got a couple of Forerunners now who make this deck about 10 times better. I mentioned them in the previous video and then just completely forgot to actually pick them up. Yeah, they give me the tutoring and they let me trigger my uh, Enrage effects whenever I want. There's still some work to do on it, but it's coming along nicely. And I've got a few wild cards, as you can see here, so I may come back and flesh this out, unless I have an idea for another deck I want to work on. But yeah, it's going well. Anything else? Yes, I've got the gems. You can see I've got a ton of challenges lined up. That's because I haven't been able to play for a few days after everything else that happened. Just sort of getting back into it. I'm going to play a game just straight up with the dinosaur deck, see if I can unlock this boy. So there's a white-green deck coming up. Don't really know what that's going to be, but I'm assuming it's going to have something to do with life gain. So let's play a game. I only have to play, I don't even have to win. We'll use my upgraded dinosaurs deck. You can see I played a lot of the black and red. That's because I had a challenge for black and red spells. It seems like whenever you unlock a deck, it gives you a challenge related to the colors of that deck to sort of encourage you to play it for a while. So we'll crack the dinosaurs out. I also have a sneaking suspicion that I'm actually going to get a deck about dinosaurs, so I'm not going to work on the one I've already built until I get through and see if there's a red-green that comes out. So I'm going to keep this video relatively brief, primarily because I'm still not 100% sure that my software is working, and I don't want to spend a lot of time in a video that I may never be able to release, especially after the amount of trouble I've had. With the gorge, this will work. So, two gorges, nice. The situation is that I really don't want to risk. I don't need plummets. Basically, not being able to put something up on the channel and having to re-record things and re-explain myself again and again. So, play a game, we'll unlock the deck, we'll have a look at it, and then I'll probably do a cut there, make sure that footage is good, and then I'll come back. Alright. What's this guy do? The top 5 cards of the library, may put a land card into the battlefield tapped. Interesting. Game life, not bad. Alright, so we will get Grid to store out. We will attack with the Raptors. A double block would be beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. I'm happy to clear his board. Alright, I can finally get a forest. That'll be nice. I'll probably play Vanquish's Banner next just to try and get that ready. Alright, he's still searching for lands. This makes me think he just plays some big beasties. Which could be fun. Big beastie versus big beastie. Alright. Vanish up. Dinosaur. I like that. It actually shortens the list based on stuff that's already been played, so there's a good chance you won't have to go through like every creature type that can exist, you know? I'm assuming something very expensive is going to come out soon since he's already at 8 mana and he's got 4 cards open. Interesting. It's a nice card actually with the 3 cards on it. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, we'll start with the Charging Monster Assault. Unfortunate. He's in trouble. He's gonna be able to block both of my guys. Ooh, put it onto the battlefield. Damage to that creature. Literally nothing. Wow. Okay. Okay. I see how this is. Alright, so we got 6 mana. So we'll just go... Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll just attack with everyone. Theory, he could have survived if I'd done the damage to him directly, I think. Alright. See, as you can see, dinosaur deck, way better now. Much more cohesive, a lot less random what the hell is this drawers. Always good. Alright, so, what do we got here? Ah, it's an Aura's deck. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. I'll have a quick look and then I'll do a cut. So let's have a quick look at you. Alright, what do we got? Alright, let's see. Defender, 2/3 defender, but can attack if it's enchanted. That's a good one play. 1/3 lifelink is pretty standard. +2/+2, we've seen those before. 2/2 vigilance is pretty good for a turn 2. Interesting. See, I saw a guy like this before, but he didn't have this first part. He just had the buff, and it costs the same. This guy's way better. Oh, he's got a dinosaur. But it's not one I can use in my other deck, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Whenever it's dealt damage, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. That is pretty exploitable in the right setup. Vigilance, lifelink. Wow, for 3 mana, that's fucking nuts. Or an equipment else you can't. Wow, that's definitely, you want at least 2 of those in here. There's only got 1 at the moment, so that's an automatic improvement. Oh, it is legendary. I guess that balances it, but she's absurd. My God. You know, one more toughness on that, and it would have been completely broken. This is Saga. I've seen this before. This is actually pretty good. But difficult to sort of get to work the way you want it to. But it basically gives you 2/2/2 tokens for 3, and then you boost all of your knights for 1 turn. But since it goes off in your draw step, you can't sort of surprise people that they can see it's coming, basically. So it's kind of attack or block, pretty standard for just general FU material in a white deck. Oaken Form, Sienna creatures +3/+3. I don't know if it's better than Knight's Pledge, honestly. Like, the extra +1 probably isn't going to make it. When you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. That's incredibly good in this deck. I can see why there's 3 of them. Shini's Last Stand. Whenever a creature or planeswalker control dies, you may sacrifice this to create an avatar creature. Whenever a spell or ability in the component controls causes you to discard this card, if you control a plane, create the avatar. Wow. I don't know how heavy discard is in the current sort of meta. I haven't really seen anyone make me discard stuff at all. But this would be brutal because they're just giving you a 4/4 in exchange for your. That could happen first turn if you got particularly ridiculously lucky. Exile target non-land permanent until the case leaves battlefield. Okay. That can be good. Because it's just non-land permanent, you can use it to exile like key enchantments and all sorts of stuff. You can even use it to get rid of an enemy's Hieromancer's Cage. On Sarah's Wings, and a creature's legendary gets +1/+1, has flying, vigilance, and lifelink. Okay. That seems pretty good for 4 mana. Another legendary, wow. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. Okay, that's quite lovely. As an aura spell that targets this creature, get a 3/3 green beast creature token. I don't know if that means specifically this Druid of Horns, or a Druid of Horns? Because if you had multiple of these out, and then you cast an aura spell on one of them, would it trigger multiple times? It's not really clear. I feel like that it will, because otherwise it would just say, when you cast an aura spell that targets this creature. And it doesn't say that. Not the villain into battlefield. Night. That's pretty good. It's a weird card though. You get a 2/2 Knight with Vigilance, which we have a 2 play for in green before. +2/+2 costs 1 and a white, but you don't get Vigilance for that. So you're basically paying 1 mana for the Vigilance as well. Prodigious Growth, ++7, and Trample. Yeah, that's a pretty good run. And that's about it. I did get some Sun Petal Groves out. That's 1 Sun Petal Grove out of it. So that's nice as well. Interesting. I don't really know how it's going to deal with... It doesn't really have a way to get past like a token heavy deck or a deck that primarily chump blocks. There's very little trample in here. There's very little creature removal. Like there's nothing cheap. It would need some work. I think it's worth giving a shot. Okay, so dinosaur time. Who are we playing? King said. Let's do this. Alright, so we'll see how we go. I've kept the plummets because it turns out they're actually really good in this deck. They cover a massive gap at a relatively good cost. And I haven't run into a lot of flying heavy decks so far, at least ones that are threatening. So between this and a few dinosaur abilities, it's worked out pretty well. I'm going to keep this hand. So I've at least got a turn 1 play in Commune with Dinosaurs. And then we can see what we pick up from that. Hopefully you can get a Ranging Raptors or something along those lines. Ooh, I think this is a very aggressive deck. I think Ripjaw... So I have the option between charging and Ripjaw. I think Ripjaw is going to be better. I suspect this is going to be a very aggressive black deck, but we'll find out. Maybe purely pirates? We'll see. Nope, it's black-blue. Can make it difficult to keep stuff on the field. So, black-blue actually is a weak point for me. Because it's just got a lot of removal. And because this deck can take a little while to get going sometimes, it can be devastating as long as I keep the hand up. I can sometimes just sort of grind through their hand. But obviously he's already got a creature on the field that could do 2 damage to me a turn. That's going to be a problem. Alright, so this is where plummets are going to come in handy to give me the board back. So if I just drop a mountain, alright, and then I just go like this. So these are both instants, so this only has flying as long as it's attacking, so I have to wait for him to attack with it. Okay, resolve that. That's fine. Resolve that too. So if he attacks with a kite sail, I'll be able to, there we go, so I can plummet him now. And I can shot this guy down. It's unfortunate, I really would have liked to get into lose to 2 life, but the kite sail only has flying. Let's go down to level 4-5. See if he actually manages to stay on the field. If he was holding for a counter spell, he missed his chance. So, oh, I fucking hate that thing. Because now he has my card. Alright, it sucks. It's so powerful. Why wouldn't I block that, you bloody psychopath? Okay, I'm gonna want something good. I'm thinking this guy. I might draw a land. That'll be pretty cool if I do. Yeah, let's do this first. Oh, dang. I can't use that. If I'd drawn that, I could have destroyed him. That would have been pretty good. And then I could have destroyed him, which would have been pretty good. But oh well. Oh, that's alright. Well, this game hasn't gone well. I need to attack first. Eh. I won't block. Right, well. Not in a great position here. Yeah, you just happen to have the exact card in here. Oh well. Alright. Got me some credit, so game number 2. Oh boy, that's awful. It's a shame too, because having this in the starting hand is quite nice. But like, I mean, that's good in the starting hand, but this is not. And then it's just, what am I supposed to do with that, you know? I could go for Heart of the Cards, but only get into Forest by turn 3. You know, let's go with it. Forget it. It's not smart. But you know what? We're not playing ranked. We got a shock. You never know. He's had the mulligan. There's no guarantee his hand's any good. I've got 3 opportunities to draw a forest. Or a forest-like card. There it is. Immediately draw it. I still need a second forest to play either Galta or the Ripjaw, but that's okay. Okay, green, blue. Okay. Alright, a Forerunner, that's useful. We are done. I've got 2 more chances to draw, well, potentially 3. I could play Forerunner, so to draw another forest-like card. Don't want to take this guy out. No, I'd rather potentially get this 2 toughness guy, basically. Okay. Some Majesty. He'll probably counter it, but we'll see. That's the thing, I gotta worry about counter spells on a blue deck. Very annoying. He's thinking. Nope. Okay then. Decided he didn't like it. Ah, that's actually a really good card. Spores twice. Very nice. I'm starting to think I should have actually shot that guy. That's alright. Put that back down. Bad notice, which is interesting. Okay. Run, little scorpion, run. Alright, I'm gonna have to destroy one of these. Because I just taking this much damage. Damn it. I hate that card. Well, let's find a card that we can actually play. It's got to stay on the fill for it to be useful, so depends what other tricks he's throwing up his sleeve. Alright, well, I won't be blocking any damage this round. Can a target creature spell? Probably. But I don't really have a lot of options here, so down it goes. I mean, obviously. Potential card draw. Sweet. I may actually pull this out. Wow. That was close. I thought he would have had at least like an unsummon or something in his hand, but apparently whatever he had just wasn't useful. Okay, one of each type. We've got a Forerunner. Middle two's not bad. And we've got the Crown, which is pretty good. Oh, okay, I'm going seconds though. I'll lay odds I can draw a mana in the next 3 draws. Well, clue start with that. That'll buy me a little bit of time, but not much. Ooh, that's bad. So, really thought I would have drawn 1 land, but it's a card game. Oh, might as well blow that one up too. Hey! Do this. Yeah, we'll get him out. I'm forcing to deal with it in one way or the other. Nice combo. I mean, I'm absolutely going to block that. He does understand, right? There's no reason for me not to. Thank you. I'm thinking... That's right. They're all here, so I want this guy. I want Burning Sun's avatar. Done. I'm fine. Thank you, though. He obviously has an instant of some kind. Might as well. Yeah, the Forerunner makes this deck way better than an Avatar, but that's really not surprising. And I can potentially plummet something, or I'll be able to Needle Tooth depending on what he plays. So I can now Needle Tooth out. Still got the mana for Plummet if he plays a plummetable creature. He sure will. Looking okay. About to get Primal Hunger out next turn, which will be interesting. That's assuming everything stays on the field, of course. Yeah, that Forerunner makes this deck so strong. Two's enough. You could run 3, but then you run the risk of just drawing nothing but Forerunners and they can't trigger each other in any way. I like it. Probably safe to open with a Gorge. Ooh, that's interesting. Bye. Wow, okay. That's a whole lot of nothing. I'm very glad I am shuffling right now because this would have been awful. Do I have to reveal it? Yeah, I have to reveal the dinosaur land card. Fair enough. Alright, well, still doesn't help me. He's probably got a damaging card. Hey, Doom Dissenter. He's a cool dude. Alright, so yeah, we'll throw down the Forerunner. We'll attempt to throw down the Forerunner. And we will take that action. And we will grab... I think we will grab a Ripjaw. Because that will be harder for him to deal with. Eh, I'll take one. He's fine. Another one. Nice. Alright, let's turn those into tokens. I kind of figured that was coming, so that's fine. He's going to get his second swamp. He'll have it next turn, so I'm expecting to be murdered. But that's alright. So I do this for 2, which leaves me with 3 mana. Can I do much with 3 mana? That would be funny, actually. Yeah, so let's do this. I have no way of improving his toughness, but that'll give me 2 cards. Seven. I know we'll get it back, but it's probably not this way. Because it'll give him summoning sickness, so he'll be able to attack me with it. Actually, no, it comes back with haste, doesn't it? He might attack with it then, if that's the case. Oh, it did come back with summoning sickness. That's fine. I'll pay that 5, which leaves me 2 mana spare. There's only 3 actions, so I'll do this now. Actually, no, that thing sucks at this mana cost. Even if I play it, it's fine. He's very low on options right now, but he might have a murder. You never know. He may even draw a murder. So. Lethal. I feel like he let me get through on purpose there. Look at that, we've gone up to bronze tier 2. Wow, dinosaur deck really just rolling the bronze tier. Okay, I think that's it from me for now. I'll try something else a little later on. See ya.